Last minute, can I have a little bowl of Fruit Loops?
Not all patients of the My 600 Pound Life are able to maintain a successful weight loss, and in some cases never manage to lose very much weight at all. In addition to that, complications can arise for patients that are 600 pounds or more and have done so on the show and afterwards, sometimes with tragic results. Worst of all, some patients on the program have passed away either during or after filming, which was devastating and heartbreaking. Here are some of the most out-of-control stories from My 600 Pound Life. Number 1. Shanae Murray. There is no question that what Shanae Murray endured as a child was horrific. In her episode of My 600 Pound Life, viewers learned that not only was she molested as a child, but the abuse was so bad that she had to see a doctor because she was having problems using the bathroom. That is something that no child should ever have to deal with. In order to cope with the pain, Murray turned to food at an early age and didn't stop eating until she was 780 pounds. Hopeful that she could turn her life around, she turned to the doctor for help, but she was never approved for weight loss surgery because she refused to follow the diet and exercise plan. Her and her husband were even caught red-handed ordering pizza and burgers to her hospital room. Since that day, Murray has posted a handful of videos on a YouTube channel, some of them from hospitals due to her health. And while she claims to have lost weight on her Facebook page, any progress is difficult to discern.
I'm 30 pounds by now. Are you eating this junk and
No.
you keep lying to me?
She didn't eat.
I'm not eating any of that.
Then how come you're not losing weight?
I haven't ate anything.
You keep repeating the same.
Number 2. Mercedes Cephas. Many of those stories on My 600 Pound Life have especially tragic beginnings. A lot of the show stars suffer horrendous childhood trauma, which is why they overeat in order to cope with their feelings. Mercedes Cephas of Season 7 is definitely in that category, having been raped by her father repeatedly starting at 11 years old. He was also abusing her sisters, though she didn't know that at the time. Years later, Cephas weighed in at 773 pounds, but she was finally ready to start losing weight and had made an appointment with Dr. Now. She was also dependent on her young children for care and struggling with a bad case of pain. She wanted to be able to live a normal life, however, she just wasn't doing enough on her episodes to qualify for weight loss surgery. By the time it was over, she had only lost 80 pounds and was always full of excuses. According to a Facebook profile, she's living in Cincinnati and is a long way from Houston, so she's likely not on Dr. Now's program.
Give me a straight, honest answer about what do you eat in a regular day?
I don't eat breakfast. Maybe around the time the kids get out of school, probably order something. When they get home, it's probably about 3, so that's probably the time when I eat.
So you're telling me you don't eat until 3 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to keep lying to me, this is...
Number 3. Tiffany. According to Tiffany, she's big not because she overeats, but just because her family ate big portions. She refuses to acknowledge her role in her weight. Tiffany's boyfriend and caretaker Aaron helps her out of bed every morning, and she has trouble making her way around the grocery store.
People are really brutal and judgmental when you're my size. And they don't understand how hard it is for someone like me to do this and get around.
Number 4. Robert Lucia. On Robert Lucia's episode of 600 Pound Life, it didn't take Dr. Now long to discover that not only did he weigh 850 pounds, but he also had an addiction to painkillers. After a rocky start, Lucia was able to finally get some control over his compulsive overeating habits. The Fourth River, New Jersey resident had a lot of love on his side, including that of his mother and his fiancée Catherine. With that support and a whole lot of work, Lucia managed to lose a significant amount of weight. Under Dr. Now's watchful care, he was able to lose 350 pounds. They also had to surgically remove a mass from Robert, which unfortunately triggered depression. A longing for painkillers reared its ugly head once again. He even tore stitches hoping to get more of them. Unfortunately, before the episode ended, he passed away from a heart attack. Dr. Now was not shy about expressing his frustration at the medical system for its complicity.
Because it's almost unbelievable that I woke up. The pain I feel when I wake up is all over. And I feel sometimes I can't take or live this life one more minute.
Number 5. Sean Milliken. Milliken seemed like he was moving in the right direction after a rocky start to his weight loss journey. After initially weighing in at nearly 900 pounds and being mostly immobile, Milliken was finally able to turn things around. Milliken got a weight loss surgery that in turn helped him drop hundreds of pounds and regain his ability to walk. According to his follow-up episode of My 600-Pound Life, Where Are They Now?, it was evident that he was putting in work. But in 2018, a tragedy struck and Milliken's mother passed away from renal failure. Understandably, Milliken was devastated, as he and his mother were extremely close. In addition to that, she was also his primary source of support. He had to move out of his Houston apartment and was clearly thrust into an incredibly difficult situation. Unfortunately, Milliken himself passed away in the hospital from complications from an infection in February of 2019. His father wrote on Facebook back in 2019 that he was having problems with breathing and they were able to resuscitate him, but a short time later his heart stopped.
All these things are up to you. So you think you can do all that? Yeah. All right, Sean. Let's check your weight and see.
Number 6. Kelly Mason. Dr. Now was known for giving patients the hope that they need to turn their lives around and the tool to help make their journey. That's what Kelly Mason was looking for when she made a long and arduous trip to Houston to meet with the famous surgeon. When she arrived, viewers learned that she had a host of health issues. She was contending with high blood pressure and a blood clot in her leg. She also had type 2 diabetes, arthritis, thyroid problems, reflux, and heart problems. It was pretty clear that she needed help as soon as possible. Things started looking up for Mason when Dr. Now admitted her to the hospital, where she was able to lose over 200 pounds. She dropped another 100 upon discharge. It was quite the accomplishment. She was incredibly hopeful and committed to sticking to a diet and exercise regimen. Kelly Mason's heart had already been through too much despite her best efforts. She unfortunately passed away during filming in her sleep of a heart attack. Dr. Now did point out, however, that she hadn't returned to her old habits. She went down fighting.
And we can also start you doing physical therapy every day to get your stamina up.
Okay.
But once we get your weight in the 500s and cardiologist said you're ready, we're going to transfer you to a PT facility that will help to get your stamina up even more.
Number 7. John Asante. Some of the stars of My 600-Pound Life are more prone to seeking the spotlight than others. The show did forewarn that John Asante, who appeared on the show in 2017, had made some pretty out there YouTube videos. They didn't mention that he was featured on Dr. Phil's House of Hate episode in 2007. Early in his episode, he's kinda seen as the bad boy who just doesn't really care. He constantly tries to get the cameraman's attention by doing completely absurd things like rants and mental breakdowns.
It's gonna be a whole nother story in the news that's gonna be worldwide, guaranteed. I want the news number now, because I'm not gonna be stuck here.
Number 8. Lisa Fleming. Some of the most awful things ever shown on My 600-Pound Life happen on